Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first ever Check the Methods showcase. We're happy that you're joining us today. We are very excited to continue Check the Method in the virtual space. This is our first time doing Check the Method because last year in March we were done with our Check the Method series. So we decided to start it off. In our first session, we had 3 people, and now we have 20 or more, and we have just great poets that come every Saturday and write with us from 1 to 2:30 Central Standard Time. It is led by Kevin Coval and Idris Goodwin, who you'll meet shortly. But definitely, we welcome you to join this community of writers. It's definitely an opportunity for you to start and finish great pieces here. And so like I said, we're having our first ever showcase. Glad you're joining us, and I will turn it over to Kevin at this time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna. We are very excited. Check the Method is really YCA's longest running program. YCA started as an idea by Dr. Baboon to get young people together on Saturdays to write creatively together, to bring young writers from all over the city together. And in the virtual space, we've been lucky to bring young people and those young at heart, myself and Idris included, from all over the planet, and so one of the things about the virtual space that I think is misleading is that, you can't really build and form community. And I think in the weeks that we've had, we've been lucky to be able to facilitate a space to hear so many great stories from so many talented writers that you'll hear in a moment. And of course, it's my pleasure to always build with my good homie and confrere and comrade Idris Goodwin. I want to welcome Idris into the cipher. What's up, man?
Hey, good afternoon, Kevin. How you feel?
Good, man. I'm chilling. This has been a great this trimester.
Yes.
Yeah, and I wonder, what are some of the things that you've gotten out of it as a facilitator?
Yeah. I mean, definitely. So first and foremost, I'm Idris Goodwin, he, him, his. I live in Colorado Springs, Colorado, where I'm the director of the Colorado Springs Fine Arts Center at Colorado College. But many years ago, one of my first really experiences as a teaching artist was teaching in the Saturday program at Young Chicago Authors, and it was just those were seminal years for me. Seeing Louder Than a Bomb grow, all the wonderful, brilliant people that I had the chance to engage with, when they were teenagers, and now all of them are doing brilliant things and putting out books and being professors and all types of stuff. So because of the virtual reality, even from here in Colorado, I'm able to, continue some of that work that's meant so much to me, just hanging out with emerging voices and new writers, and it really, just building in the cipher, which I think is really key. And it aligns with some of the work that I'm trying to get going out here in Colorado with my own organization. So it was a really wonderful opportunity. But again, one of the sort of strange upsides to this challenging moment we find ourselves is that, yeah, to your point, we can really, really build community, in probably even in a bigger way, in some different ways than we could have before. So it's been a real thrill, and I'm excited to platform and cheerlead for all these writers that we're about to be in the cipher with yet again.
Yeah, man, me too. So, what you're going to see today is just I think all the folks who are going to read are going to read a piece that I think they more or less maybe started in the space and have realized since. And so I think there's probably no better thing to do than just really get into it, right?
I mean, we just got to get into it.
Right. All right. So it is my pleasure then to introduce. I will say this: Maya is on deck, but to begin with, we have someone who is incredibly dedicated to the YCA solar system. This man turns up and turns out for really kind of like all of our programs. I'd like to welcome to the cipher Sam the Sentient. What's up, man?
Greetings, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. I go by the name Sam the Sentient. I'm an introspective, reflective, and expressive rapper and poet. And today I'm going to be performing a piece for y'all regarding the journey that I went through, like from the right before this pandemic, kind of like doing like a lot, performing like a lot of ciphers and open mics, kind of transitioning into like trying to come into myself during this time of quarantine, self-reflection, and yeah, that whole process. So this piece is called Finding Wind. A fly MC with wind beneath his wings spent this beautiful night in the neighborhood of Rogers Park, a guitar shop wrote his name on the dotted line to pluck the heartstrings of 10 music lovers. A tray of hors d'oeuvres couldn't block his scent for victory. He was frozen, stiff, a lion, ready to institute artistic reign, practice lines in the bathroom, bouncing off the mirror, pounce back so fast, he could have broken a leg. Hands breaking a sweat, clutches him to get a grip of the mic, burning in the light like a crack pipe. Can't wait to give him a hit. Our new artist will perform tonight. Please welcome Sam the Sentient, hollers the host. He steps on stage, basks in the light, but his view of the audience remains dark. Only hears cheers of beer breath, cigarette squares, swallowing pride. He spits his opening lines, the intro, first few bars, first verse, rowing the first few rows with a hook, the next few bars. Then, for the very first time, the star spaces out with enough silence to fill the space. He can't stomach this black hole, but with enough guts to throw up the white towel, he shouts, I can't do this. Walks off like a wounded Olympian. The audience trails him with applause, but no badge of honor, because tonight he lost all wind beneath his wings. Afterwards, an older poet breaks it down with an analogy. As artists, we take the shit and turn it into fertilizer. Fitting, considering the shit I dropped that night, I fertilized rest, sprung into spring, a nest body, growing into myself through the sun of serenity and rain of rumination. I slow down, go with the flow, tweet gratitude, and when there's enough wind beneath my wings, I will fly and let the wind carry me forward. Thank you.
Yay, that's that piece. Make some nice, loud, crisp digital noise for Sam the Sentient. Did I say that right? Sentient.
Yes.
Sentient. That's what's up, man. Telling my story, talking, you know what I'm saying? Talking about that life. All right, we're gonna keep it moving. And thank you for kicking it off too properly, man. I think you definitely warmed up the virtual stage properly. We're gonna keep it moving. Next up to the virtual mic. This is a poet who, you know, always consistent, never predictable, and I always enjoy hearing what she has to say after our prompts every week. So, loud, warm, virtual noise for Maya Ventura.
Hi, everyone. I'm Maya, and I'm going to read a poem that I wrote in one of the Check the Method poetry sessions. Standing proud in front of my 6th grade class, presenting my heritage project, knowing I'd pass. But when I pointed to the Mexican flag, my teacher rose his eyes in surprise, claiming that I can't be Mexican. All Mexicans are dark. You didn't question when I said I was Polish or Italian, but when you found out I was a minority, your words reflected a tone of superiority, claiming maybe my skin doesn't bear a darkish hue, but my ancestors who picked fruit in the fields got darkened by the sun, and they knew how colorism feels. My culture can't be defined by a skin tone. My great-grandfather walked across the border, but to you, he's not a real Mexican, for his eyes were green and skin was pale. If I walked into class with a sombrero and had frijoles for lunch and an accent to match, then would you believe when I pointed to the Mexican flag?
Yo, it's so good, man. First of all, that ending, right? Very crisp, right? The way that she cuts it off, but just also that, you know, part of what we do, I mean, part of our work is to counter, you know, the lies that are told about us. You know, we talk a lot in our spaces that if we don't tell our own stories, we will be lied on and lied about. And Maya, thank you for being courageous and doing that righteous and necessary work, you know, to make sure that your story is told. Beautiful, beautiful job. We have incredible students in the space, and all of us are lifelong students. We also have very dedicated educators who carve out space for other people, and it's very powerful to see them getting this work for themselves too, and bringing this work into the spaces that they help to facilitate. So this next young lady is in this tradition of great and bold educators. We have, oh, actually, she's on deck. So Amy, you're on deck. I should say, next to Flex, and welcome to the Cypher, is my man who is part of the YCA family in many ways. He has not only been a part of Louder Than a Bomb, but has taken a gap year to help YCA achieve greatness and come and be a part of our staff. We have the young Laszlo in the building. Welcome, man.
Thank you. I'm Laszlo, he, him. I'm from Chicago. And my poem today is going to be after this poem prompt that we did a few weeks ago. This poem is a bastard. This poem was born outside the marriage of life and language. This poem is unreal. Stop trying to trap it. This poem drinks ink and thinks for itself. This poem is my oldest child. This poem has died before. This poem dragged itself out the grave. This poem ain't playing around anymore. This poem held a pen to my head and told me to get writing. This poem says it has something important to say. This poem doesn't want me to catch my breath. This poem is on the road to enlightenment. This poem, this poem, that. This poem acts with any means necessary. This poem acts with kindness always. This poem is always kind of wilding. This poem is the best of all those I know. This poem was there when the earth cracked open. This poem is a chance at immortality. This poem has a long-ass acknowledgements page. This poem wants me to read it, but I'm not gonna. This poem is gonna read me. This poem dropped the pen. This poem will be back in another poem. Thank you.
Yo, that's what's up. What'd you say? This poem drinks ink. That's what I'm talking about. One of the things that I so much enjoy about this space is that it's really wide open, and I can't stress that enough. When I tell people about it, it's young Chicago authors, but it's really for everyone. And so one of the things that gives me great joy every week is when I think it's the Westfield Poetry Club, right? Is that right? The Westfield Poetry Club, is that what it's called?
I think it might be Wakefield.
Wakefield, my bad. I don't want to start no beef. But that's a group not based in Chicago, correct? You're out of Virginia?
We're in Alexandria, Virginia. It's Wakefield.
Yeah, Wakefield. Thank you very much. I didn't do my fact checking before I started this. My bad. But it really is like open. So poetry educators, community leaders, facilitators. Everybody is always welcome, and it's a really generative and generous space. And so with that, I want to bring you next up to the virtual mic is one of the key matriarchs of the Wakefield Poetry Crew, and one of our consistent scribes, Amy Wathen.
Hi, thanks. So my name is Amy. I'm from Alexandria, and I'm going to read my poem called Home, and I wrote it on the November 7th workshop. Okay. People always talk about the place they call home, and it makes me wish I could talk about that too. I'm a woman without a home, not homeless, yet I belong nowhere, which when turned over means I make my way everywhere I go. I've been places, I've seen things. I've walked walks and talked talks. When asked where home is, I say the place I live now or where I was born. But these are not home. I have no family there. My family all live next to lakes 1,000 miles away, and they won't let me get in the water. I am a woman surrounded by water, and I never learned to swim. Which when turned over means, sorry, that was my cat. Which when turned over means that at least I won't drown. The township I was born in no longer exists. The money left everyone behind. The street signs have all been taken down, and the mobile homes have all been wheeled away to slowly come apart at the seams. The sidewalks are still there. They lead to nothing but fields of wind-worn grass, which when turned over means I can do anything because I have all that space to grow, even though I have nowhere to call home. Thanks.
Great work, Amy. Thank you so much. I love the specificity of that piece, and also that you reminded us of the date of the workshop. Thank you so much, and thank you for the work you do as an educator, and for all of the shine that you give to YCA. Our next reader is also not in the state of Illinois, someone who we've known through our Louder Than a Bomb network, a teaching artist and a practitioner, someone who hosts her own workshops and just does great work as a writer and as a convener of spaces. Gloria, welcome to the Cipher.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Idris. I'm from Tacoma, Washington, Puyallup Tribe lands, and I am going to go ahead and perform my pieces for you today. Biggest little store in the world. I come from a strange place. You can walk into a store and see a gorilla inside. The Asian ladies at the hair store stare at me from their platform. All I want is some shea butter. The hallways creak, some faded magenta flooring, black dude with a cap selling t-shirts. The little stand at the entrance has churros for 79 cents, game cartridges for Nintendo 64, every style of do-rag you can imagine. The food court, all tables empty except one family. The hungry child looks over. Pac-Man says hello, and he weeps, for he only wants somebody to touch his console. That's about a store in Tacoma called the BNI. They actually used to have a gorilla in the store, but all right, this other one is called Waffle Fries. The ridges, a bridge, what a place this is. Small too small, large just suffice. We play the game of have we met before? You spin me, then lie, saying everything is all right. It starts off as joy, then the music plays a steady snare. I only meet you when my eyes are blue. I only meet you when my abdomen tightens. I only meet you when I don't want to meet me. And then last one, instructions on how to run. This is how you run. You better run with your hands down, 7 minutes a mile. You must run fast, not hard. You must pick up speed. You must not let your phone slip out of your pocket. You must not listen to music. You better not have the devil spitting in your ear. You must be fearless, vigilant. You must run every day. When you're tired, you must run. When you are weak, you must run. Those shoelaces better be tied. Knee to hand, feet must be swollen. You must wear the same shoes that you've worn every day before. After you pray, you must run, this time knee to chest. You must breathe heavily, this time with your shoes off. Your feet must kiss the soil. You will have no concept of time. The universe will be your only temple, your heart the only beat, and freedom will only come from the from the fruits of your feet. And freedom will only come from the fruits of your feet. That was the last line. But thank you all. And feel free to connect with me on Instagram. My Instagram is WHO is Gloria Joy. Who is Gloria Joy? But thank you so much.
Thank you, Gloria Joy. Nice virtual crisp applause for that trio, that little triptych of offerings from Gloria. And definitely, yeah, check with her. She runs some really great virtual workshops. This has been like kind of I consider them our sister workshop, So it's a great time to be writing poems, a great time to be documenting this strange, bizarre, abnormal, and important moment. So I hope as if you are listening to this that you are writing furiously. Speaking of furious styles, next up to the mic is another stalwart, someone who always enlivens the proceedings as both a writer and a listener, very generous contributor. So make some virtual noise for Julian Martinez.
Yo, what's up, folks? Thank you all for this amazing program. I mean, it's really changed my life in the past few months. It's been really significant. So thank you, not only Kevin, Idris, Anna, but everyone who participates, because I think about you a lot. But so this piece I wrote last week. I started writing it last week when we were talking about pledging allegiance, right? Declaring independence. And I didn't share the little draft I had started, but over this past week, I've kind of filled it out. And it's called Rip the Confidential Papers with Confidence. 21 says, when you're working hard, then your money start expanding, and all the Mexicans in the joint go nuts. Codeine coated gold in their gums that they're gonna have to get removed by the dentist next month to take to the pawn's glass counter and pay for the medical bills on the kitchen one. Fuck that. Tonight they lick their fills like candy. The ceiling's green strobe sends beacons home into each other's auras of sweat, with the Jesus chains bouncing, then falling back in love with the throat and the chest. Someone's flexing an X tatted on the abs like it's a map to where bloodline and baseline and paycheck have led, where everyone is putting their backs in rotation and there's no immigration saying, hold up. Only immigrants holding up their cups to toast their last names, but no, they're not all related. They all know what it is to sweat for rent, though. In a country that wants only their sweat, fuck that. Tonight, they want at least their sweat, declaring independence by expanding. Thank you all.
Let's go. Yo, thank you, Julian. Yeah, man, it's so exciting. And, I think Idris and I feel very lucky because every week, we do a few different workshops and we get to hear fire every time out. And then so to see even the seed become, this beautiful, realized piece is very powerful. So thank you for realizing that piece. Thank you for doing the work. Everybody in the workshop. I mean, you guys show up and really do this work. And, it's part of what keeps Idris and I coming each week, like just ready to throw stuff at you, because we could throw wild shit at you and you're like, oh, I got you, fam. Hold up. Give me 15 minutes. I'm going to make this masterpiece, and so it's powerful to see. The next writer is no different. It's a young woman who we've been privileged to see as a part of Louder Than a Bomb, and someone who we're very excited about what she's doing in her future. Please, y'all, make some virtual noise and give it up for Daniela.
Hello. Can y'all hear me right? Yes? Okay, perfect. Okay. So yeah, this one was for the prompt advice that you were given a few weeks back. So yeah, this is don't cry when you cook. My mother always told me to cook your food when you're happy. She says that you can't season your food with anger because it'll give the people being fed high blood pressure. She told me that if you cry while you cook and your tears fall in the pot, the people eating will be sad and cry as well. The meal is always going to be too sour or too salty. But my mother tried teaching me how to cook, but I still haven't gotten a hand at it yet. It always comes out too salty. And maybe it's because cooking is a generational thing, and generational things tend to be traumatic. Or maybe it's because cooking is your stamp of approval for marriage, and I am nowhere near ready for that, because I'm not ready for a man who's always eating while I'm always serving. But let's be honest, women, we're never hungry. We just simply fill ourselves with the aroma of the kitchen, and we blame our tears on chopped onions, and our heavy coughs are because the chiles de árbol on the comal. Our shaking hands are because we're tired of carrying the stone molcajete that we were gifted in marriage. My mother tells me this is how to be a good wife, a good cook, to live and serve and be in the kitchen. It's the official practice of being a woman. But my dad always told me that women are brujas, that we make spells in the kitchen, and that's why men are never allowed in, because it's our only safe space. We concoct our own spells, cures, and curses. And he says that us women, we don't know how to build homes, but of course we know how to destroy them with a single bad meal. My dad says, ask a lady a question and she won't know the answer, but if you ask her for a cure, she'll make it in her trusty molcajete. That's why my dad wanted me to be the witch in this family generation. He wanted me to use this as some sort of protection, because mommy's a witch, and she's an amazing one, don't get me wrong. Simply tasting her pozole puts you in a trance, and eating her mole rojo with Mexican rice, it puts you in an endless sleep. And eating homemade tacos de lengua, it's basically just a love spell. Mommy says, the way to a man's heart is his stomach. So I decided I'm going to start cooking with rat poison. I'll make my husband's coffee with morning bleach, and his rice will be infested with mothballs, because I'm honestly tired of always making trances, love spells, and endless sleep. I'm always tired of serving and cooking for a man who won't even want to bother to learn the first thing about me. Because how can my husband be the man of the house if he can't even be bothered to make his own plate? So thank you.
Yes, give it up. Yo. That was spellbinding. Shout out all the magic makers and chefs and curators of space. Man, learning don't stop. We're not even halfway through, Casey. We're not even halfway through, bro.
I know, man. It's already so much fire. You know
It's not even like I feel like we might break the internet today. Anyway, yo, that's what's up, man. That's such a great, anyway, all right, we got to keep it moving. All right. Next up to the virtual mic, nice, crisp digital applause for Jaslyn Ojeda.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jesline Ojeda. This is my very first time performing, and the title of my poem is called Chocolate Chip Birthmarks. Hope you enjoy. You haven't been forgotten. You just can't appear out of nowhere. She can't hear your voice, feel your touch, see you with her eyes, smell the pine sol cleaner aroma that used to surround you, or taste the different foods you used to make. It's been 8 months. She hasn't forgotten what you look like, how you act, what you enjoy, or how you used to dress. You just left too soon, leaving her behind. She blames herself for not going to see you like she said, but now she sits in front of you while being under a tree, wishing she could be with you one last time, wanting to apologize for her one mistake. She remembers the laughs, memories, moments shared, and the sound of your laugh was enough to make her laugh and smile. The memories she created with you being together helped her sleep at night. The moment she had with you was just enough to get rid of her fright. But now she can't smile or laugh anymore, not without you being here. Not even I can make her laugh or smile anymore like you could. You left me too, the one who always waited for you to come over for birthdays and family reunions, the one who loved to make our little thumbprint cookies and splatter flour all over you, how we would call our little birthmarks little chocolate chips, when you would take me to the derby races every year. Now I have a bone to pick with you for that. You promised to take me this year, but look what happened. You left me and our little chocolate chip birthmarks alone. That's it.
Let's go, Jasleen. Yo, so dope. Jasleen, I can't believe this is your first time performing. That's what you said?
Yeah, it's my very first time performing.
Ever? Anywhere?
Yes. I have major stage fright. Like, I'm just surprised that I was able to just perform in front of all of you, something very personal to me. And then being with slam poetry at Vaughn and having Mr. Mejia as, my teacher and him pushing me to do this, it helps me a little bit. So even though there's like shake in my voice, like I'm proud that I did this. So.
Well, we feel very lucky that you did it because it's a beautiful piece and you would never know that it's your first time performing and you crushed it. So good job. And we are very excited to hear more and more from you. Okay.
Thank you.
Really good work, y'all. Dang, Jasleen has bars and bars. No surprise. I am surprised that that's your first time performing, but I believe it. Y'all, it keeps going. It does not stop. Next into the cipher, please, y'all, make some noise for Rashelle.
Hi. Should I turn my camera on?
If you can, that'd be great. We would love that.
Okay.
Oh, and we get the whole move from the room. So
steady cam vibes.
Exactly. We're also getting like the tour. It's part of the piece, you know what I'm saying? Get the tour of the house.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
It's in the hallway.
That's what's up. Thank you, Rashelle.
Okay. Okay, so my name is Rashelle Bossou, and my piece is called Immigrant Dad. America loves capitalism more than it loves Black people. That was one of the first lessons my father learned when he came to America. He's working 16 hours every day to put food on the plate, and Tuesday is his off day. He wanted to go to America to achieve the American dream. That's why his brother played Visa Lottery and wrote his name on the ticket. America to him was what France was to Americans, but behind the utopia and positive propaganda was the truth about America. The Thanksgiving tradition Americans celebrate is about the attempted genocide of Native people. He found out about American slavery. He found out about Jim Crow. He found out about Kunta Kinte and Rosa and Martin and Malcolm. He found out that America isn't the land of the free, but rather the land of the white, straight, Christian, able, male, and rich. He realized that America loves capitalism more than it loves Black people. He realized that America is good for making money and having 2-week vacations and not a place to retire. He realized that he couldn't live here for the rest of his life. That's why at any chance he gets, he spends his summers in Togo to visit the Christian school that he built for children. That's why he's leaving soon, to have a small farm and to work in agriculture in Togo or Benin. He realized that America isn't the diamonds that the Queen of England stole from South Africa. He realized that all America does is steal from third world countries after trying to overthrow their governments. And he realized that America is just like them. He understood that America was a business, not a country. And that's why capitalism flourishes so well here. He didn't realize that America would raise his African children, or how funny it will be when his kids try to speak in Ewe poorly in a thick American accent. Ofonyere, mi fon, sabido, donyiso. He didn't, or how hard it would be to see his children conform to American culture than the culture he was raised on. He didn't realize that his children would be stuck between two countries, leaning towards one and barely interacting with the other. America was too progressive in the light of his strict traditional values. He agreed that women were supposed to be the mothers of the kitchen, not breadwinners. He didn't understand abortion, why a woman would kill God's greatest gift. He agreed that man and man were not supposed to lay together, as it was an abomination. He knew what men were supposed to be, a self-assured, humble man like him, a man who judged silently with disapproving eyes of same marriage with no action to match it. He didn't approve of African Americans, like his wife and most Africans of his time didn't. He didn't like rap, he didn't like hip hop, he didn't like anything pertaining to Black American culture. He liked Bob Marley and King Mensa, music that reminded him of home. Music that reminded him of before and his family back in Togo. He said that Africa is poor, but they're happy. And he realized that America couldn't be a home to him if it's a home to capitalism first. Okay.
Yo. Thank you so much for sharing all of that history. This work that we do really is about what just happened now, which is, telling the stories of the people we come from. And, that's like our duty as writers, as poets, as human beings. So thank you for taking us through that and for the detail of that craft and the complexity of all that hit different for sure. Oh man. All right. Well, cool. We're going to keep this thing moving and, just shout out everybody for being here and anyone else who's listening right now. This is a great way to end the trimester. Next up to the virtual mic, make some digital noise for Liz Vaca.
Hi, my name is Liz Vaca. This is my first time performing, and this piece is called What's on Your Mind. What's on your mind? Multiple things are happening up there, but I can't communicate any of it. I can tell you multiple random dictionary definitions word for word, including how serendipity means the occurrence and development of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way. But I can't tell you exactly what I'm feeling or why. I can tell you that an obelisk is a division symbol's name, and that an acosmos is someone who believes nothing exists. And I can tell you that sometimes I feel like an acosmos, but then I remember that the concept of acosmism exists, so then again, maybe I'm not. I can't tell you why I get overwhelmed by emotions, but I can tell you that sometimes it happens, and it's a horrible feeling that I'd wish on no one but myself. I can tell you my favorite book quotes. You're all the colors in one, at full brightness, and their page numbers, page 172. But I can't tell you why the book is important to me, because you wouldn't get it, and then I could never explain it to you. I could tell you what my diagnoses mean in the medical world, but not what they mean to me. And I probably could ramble mindlessly about said diagnoses, explain what ADHD, anxiety, and depression entail, but then again, I can't. I know too much and tell too many. I can't tell you when I start to spiral again, but I can tell you that when I get bad, I start to write again. And I can also tell you that in the past 3 days, I've started to write 7 poems and finished 2 of them. I can't tell you why words comfort me, but I can tell you that repetition is lovely, 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 lovely. And I can't tell you why I hate even numbers, but I can tell you that a mononumerophobia is not the cause of it. I can tell you about my interests, but I won't. I'll ramble for hours and maybe take a few snack breaks. I can't tell you what I'm crying over again, but I can tell you that they're the loveliest person in the world. And if I could wish for them back, I would in a heartbeat, but I can't have them back, for they are forever gone. I could start to get sad again, but that wouldn't be fun for anyone.
And I hate being sad. That's what the meds are for, to prevent it. So let's not get into that. I guess my whole point is that I can never stay on topic. So I simply refrained from answering and ask instead, how are you?
Let's go, Liz. Wow, dang. I can't believe it, it's amazing that that's your first time. You're like, this is my first time performing bars, you know what I mean? And just like spit wild. That's so good. It's so good. I also, Liz, I do not rock with even numbers, so we share that too. Everything got to be on the odd. So just really great job. Amazing that that's your first time performing, and we are so excited and so excited to hear more and more and more from you. So really, really beautiful work. Congratulations and great job. Y'all, for those tuning in, this is the trimester read at the end of trimester 1 of the Saturday writing program, Check the Method at Young Chicago Authors. You are hearing from just a piece or a few from some of the folks who have been rocking with us all trimester long. Next up into the cipher is a young man who is, again, involved in so many YCA programs, not only a talented poet, but also an MC and a producer, someone who is an artiste, I think, universally. Please, y'all, make some noise for Nick.
Hey, thanks, Kevin. I'm Nick. I'm just some white dude with curly hair. And this poem is called My Turntables, sort of about my experience as a DJ. My turntables scratch the crooks between amygdala and fear. I'm squeezed into a figment of my peers, invisible ichor flowing between us. Disconnecting the microphone puts me deep into the Mobius years, banging its portal shears. Ribbon-like, between the dirty clothes on the floor, I slide a dirty call for help across the gelatin door. Your deafened glare across each day, the lights puncture me. Motor functions, slowly, and cyclic stabs spin epileptic poker with invisible hands to choke our space in the decks into trance. I am your shadow. I was filtered out. So what do you know about me? Give me gatekeeper cues. Give me cutoff to tune out your inner recluse. Reinvent me on a digital map we can use together and wash away in the ultraviolet blues. I'm severed. When I wake up, I see kaleidoscopic phantoms in the absence of a tide, where a tree falls by the chorus and the footprints come to life, on the bridge over troubled water, static where a need to commune with the echoes strings the resonance into night, and the cross faded into my bedsheets atheistically, aesthetically, empty. All these people blend together in my mind, dream and Escher, wake rippling over, and scratch my space with a Kodak black eye. We ride and we die together for these moments of peace, but you wouldn't sample me without a Cheshire grin and a red hand prescribed to this letter. You push the envelope through me, this letter circled by lineage, C, like the streaks of red line in the Sea of Compton. This letter protected by a sacred court of law, digital moves underground, plants the legal burden into your long john, fuck the law, lock. Red alerts broken down into abandoned warehouse blues that buy freedom for cold-blooded pigeons like you who can't tell the difference between you and me. Between a warning sign to keep out and a fist raised to my mouth, my glutton. This letter spelled with a capital B, reduced to a C, connecting the microphone for community. Drive, past police sirens sluicing the Milky Way. Drive away, the paydays reducing the sign to drive away slowly, to euthanize this utopic fantasy. Different problems, same evil. Drive toward the same light, the kniving lens reach through the peephole, to pierce my heart. I want your heart to be mine, my drive to be yours. I want these walls to talk to me, tell me to swim good, to fold me into a snuffed baby, underwater but punished but alive. Worm-fed back into father time, your whore but printed selfless, across the wax turning your tables from underneath. My head is spinning and I can't breathe. You walk across history. I want you to rise in my place with an electric guitar, long hair curled back down to the permanent record because my language was free. Roots cheap and stolen, your story versus mine, cocktails versus breadwinners, both drunk where the moon shines, but who am I? All I need's a quiet space. You and rainbows in the midst of plastic steel, bathed in the hour of chaos, to pull my marionette strings, lifting my knees one by one across our personal Silk Road. To Sisyphus your way back to praise, then back to me again. Spin a phonographic smile in my place like historic liturgy, where silence bleeds into urban clanks. I won't breathe. I'm finally erased. Black becomes white. Yin becomes yang, American flag becomes ash. By the time I open the door, you'll read like a mogul buried in the Rolodex. Puyi to the Vanilla Ice crowd. Twist the knobs to open this portal and find a mirror. Take a good look at yourself. To know your purpose means you'll never know my purpose. You'll never know the earth I move to furnish the world's best next to the blood moon where we switch faces and your eyes become married backwards to the tourists. If you ever choose to visit me on the other side of this innocent cell, make sure you knock before you make noise. I'm deafened in this chorused void. In the box, in the now, on top, buried in my crown.
Yo, make some digital noise for the homie Nick. You know, when I got up this morning, Sisyphus was a noun, but after a few seconds ago, Sisyphus is also a verb. Take that, English language. And that's why we do what we do here. We bend and break rules. We make the words. We don't hurt the words. We just evolve them. We make them do things. We do magic tricks. We like Cirque du Soleil with these bars. Thank you, Nick, for all of your imagination and wordplay. It's always appreciated. All right, y'all. We're gonna keep this party moving. Next up to the mic, again, another stalwart, someone who always enlivens the proceedings. So I'm very excited that I get to introduce the next poet, Ahnika the Poetry Franklin. Come through.
Thank you. I just want to say thank y'all. This has been a great space. I love coming here. I just recently got back into writing and, it's been nice just easing back into this with y'all. So yeah, I'm Ahnika the Poetry. I speak and rhyme through time. And when you're present, you might notice me. This is from the home prompt. So let's go. All right. I'm from all black, all brick. Basketball courts where ankles bend and fingers twist. The kids only ever see each other or local addict walking down 79th or 72nd, or Darlene from 72nd, who you would pay a couple dollars to walk to the gas station and she would be back in 2 minutes with your cigarettes, despite it being a 7-minute walk. I can't help but to think from the call of her name echoed across potholes or the stumble of her cane across chipped concrete that she deserves love too. Or Mr. Wash, who taught English and in retrospect was a hotep with anger issues, who would make us read The Invisible Man, The Hunger Games, and the Willie Lynch letter, who would punch doors and call us Negroes when he was angry, to prepare us for a world that would do the same in different words. I can't help but to feel from him teaching us proper history, putting knowledge in our hands before we could even understand, for raising our rebel against the very system he was indoctrinating us into. I can't help but to feel that came from love. I'm from 69th, train packed louder than train tracks. Me and my 8 cousins on one blunt, who getting high off that? We didn't know how to smoke anyways, just trying to pass the days, trying to alleviate the pain of not having shit, of seeing your friends sucked in. I'm from pain. The kind that seeps itself into vein, the kind that metabolizes your existence into a catalyst for change, the kind that traumatizes, the kind that tells you have to choose between black, traumatized, or alive, the kind that makes decisions for you, the policymakers that abhor you, the neighbors who only see you as agents of destruction. I'm from stereotype of schools underfunded, cops overpresent, overflow prisons. Like the ghetto, I was ghettoized in my creation. It's not of my making, but I'm made to feel grateful for all I've been given, not what's been taken, not houses vacant, not souls evicted from home, thrown into ocean well. I am grateful and I am great. I am grateful for my ancestors and great in their faith. I said I am grateful and I am great. Love courses through my veins and no one could ever take that away. I even perspire great because when that sweat rolls down my face, it's a trace back to the first rose that ever bloomed. Love is my heirloom. Love is my lineage. A Black woman who knew how to love was the first human who didn't know Black or woman, only land, people, plant, connection, and I am connected. A heaven-sent rebellion. Love is my lineage. Love is my heirloom. I'll tell you where I'm from. I'm from the first rose that ever bloomed. Thank you.
Say that, Ahnika, damn. Whew. So much fire, so much music. Such a great opening line. So many bars in between. So just great work. Yeah, and beautiful refrain, for real. Good job. I'm so excited to have y'all in the space and just to see the work you do. Ahnika, you said it'd been a minute since you'd written, and it's so good then to have you back just for for all the bars that you've shared with us. And so it's great. Week in and week out, we feel really lucky to hear people experiment and get it right and land on something. And to see Ahnika grow, to see all of y'all grow in a short period of time is very powerful. This next writer is no different. We met Emmanuel in a workshop we did at DePaul, and he's been rocking with us ever since. So please, y'all, welcome to the Cypher. Give it up for Emmanuel.
Hey, everyone. Thank you for that introduction. I'm Emmanuel Flores. I'm from DePaul. I'm a sophomore, and I'm from Chicagoland suburbs. And before I go, just a little shameless plug. Kevin kind of got on it. So this piece I'm about to read, it was started in a workshop at maybe the first two, I think, and ever since then, like, I saw what I made, and like it kept bringing me back, and also hearing what others created in 15 minutes. So just a huge plug for that, for Pueblo, and also for this just this wonderful Saturday workshop. All right, I will read my poem titled "My Go-To Spot." Peking Mandarin has spots available for me. The spot where my cousin celebrated his graduation. My family needed 12 chairs, like they needed family-sized bowls. The brown bus person checks us in, but the people in charge always check us out. The spots in the front after Mass, at the church on Ketsi and Montrose. The spots are on the counter after a long day of driving the Zamboni. Fried rice, crab rangoon, the spicy fried chicken wings, dum-dum style, are the hype. Peking Mandarin is the go-to spot. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And that is it. Emmanuel Flores checking out.
Thank you, Emmanuel. You just made me hungry with that piece. I was like, yeah, and what else they have? I got kind of like lost in it. I was like, I need to eat some lunch. No, but thank you. I am a sucker for a well-detailed, litany of food or food motifs. Though in Daniela's piece, I was a little nervous. But yeah, we keep it moving. We don't stop. Next up to the mic is someone I'm always happy to see in the mix, and so I'm very excited to hear her read, because I don't know that I've heard her read her poems before. So nice and loud and digital for Regan Burke. Regan Burke.
Regan, you're on mute.
Thank you, Kevin. Thanks, everybody. I'm Regan, and I'm really breathless. Not at my own work, but at your work today. Really breathless. Okay, so this is from the prompt about benediction. May all the lights be green. May the terriers be dancing and teasing. May the squirrels be jumping in the trees. And may the sweet ones be there. May the scolds be elsewhere. May the student be singing butterfly. May the Rottweiler be lullabied. May Henry's girlfriend be out of heat. May I be kind to the toothless athlete. May Dumpster Dan's chicken bones be back in the bin. May the actress be wearing her jeweled Christmas pin. May old cowboy boots flirt with me. May squirrels exercise Henry. May sentient ones smell love. May viral loads rise above through the treeless branches to the heavens. May our enemies be unleavened. May we be serene. May all the lights be green.
Hey, Regan, thank you so much. Always a pleasure, always an honor to hear you. such a great and dedicated writer and artist and thinker, and obviously like a fashion maven. I mean, stays fresh dipped. You already know. It's so great to share space with you, Regan. Thank you so much. Yeah, y'all. It does not stop, and I think one of the things about this space that I love, it really is for writers of all ages, all levels of experience. I mean, Regan is a published author. Her book came out at the top of the year, and still, garners inspiration and hangs with us in the space and does great work. And so, it really is for all of us. Yeah, so we're going to keep it moving, keep that energy going. Next is a friend of the program, someone who's been involved with Young Chicago Authors for a number of years as an educator, an important mentor in the space, an artist in his own right, a father and father of styles. Gabe, welcome to the Cypher, man.
Thank you, Kevin. Yes, you're talking about all ages. This little one right here, my second born, Velia, aka Didi, is making her YouTube debut here, so give it up for her. And this is a poem that I wrote to her actually before she was born. When you want to get excited about the results of the gender reveal for your unborn child, but remember that gender is a human construct, after Olivia Gatwood. It's a girl, a pretty girl, little girl, nice girl, sad girl, bad girl, dealing with heteronormative expectations, girl, obsessed with murder stories like your mother, girl, sneaking sips of your dad beer when he's not looking, girl, not putting up with your brother's friend's shit, girl, won't keep quiet because it makes you uncomfortable, girl, raised by pit bulls, girl, ride the CTA with my headphones in and my hoodie up, so don't talk to me, girl, knows that her dad has her back, girl, grew up bumping Wu-Tang and Kendrick and Gambino over breakfast in the house, parents had a gender reveal party, they were hoping for a girl, but didn't want to look disappointed if it was a boy. Her family got really psyched about buying lots of pink shit. I promised to dye all of that pink shit black. I promised to teach you about Star Wars, camping, belching, and swinging a bat. When someone catches you cursing, you'll say, I learned it from my dad. I won't teach you how to throw a punch. I'll teach you combos. Jab, cross, hook, uppercut, kick to the groin if they don't respect a woman's space. I will teach your brother how to respect a woman's space. I'll watch you watch my favorite movies, hoping that you had the same reaction I did when I was a kid, and try not to be disappointed when you don't. I'll teach you how to think, but not what to think, and hope it's enough. I know I need to be enough. When you tell me that you're depressed and want to die, I will hear you. When you tell me that you're a victim, I will believe you. When you tell me that you're going out with friends, I will trust you. If you tell me that you're gay, I'll say, cool, can you pass the tahini? I'll go on strike so that we can have the kind of schools that I would want to send you to. I'll go and get you all that pink shit if that's what you actually want. I'll show you that people can own their strengths and vulnerabilities, and we'll talk about toxic masculinity. I asked your mother what she wished for her father had taught her. She said that she wished he taught her how to be handy, but he didn't think girls could do that kind of stuff. Well, I'll teach you how to be handy, how to speak Spanish. But first, I need to learn how to be handy and how to speak Spanish. 500 years of colonialism and casteisms will play out their history on your tongue. Your mother also wanted me to teach you that history and street smarts, and how to smell the bullshit from a mile away, and how to navigate being mixed, but only looking like it in the summertime, in a country that thinks white people are the victims of racism. Your curls and curious last name will incite colonial confusion that you will wear like a glove. When people ask, what are you? You say, confident girl, cocky girl, loud girl, proud girl, rude girl. Doesn't care about your expectations, girl. Don't put me in a box, girl. She's got this, girl. Maybe not sure if she even identifies as a girl. Doesn't need help from dad, girl, but knows it's still there when she wants it. I'll try not to see everything through my own lens. I'll try to remember everything I learned from my female students. I'll try not to tell you to go ask your mother because I'm afraid of the question. I'll try to make you remember that I love you even when I'm furious and I'm losing it because I don't get what it's like to be a girl, and I'll admit it. And I'll depend on you to remind me of everything I just wrote and hold me to it. Thank you.
Ooh, that's what's up. Yo, shout out all the poetry writing parents in the world. Real G's, real dads write poems for their kids. That was really fun, and the chat, what you incited in the chat was also very, very, very fun as well. So big up, man. With the baby in one. I can't even do that. I can't even. You got me on that, bro. I'm like, get out of here. I'm working. All right. So what a thrill this has been. We're gonna keep it moving. Next up to the Miggity Mike. Make some noise for, I believe, one of Gabe's students actually, who definitely was like, yo, you're not gonna read none. You setting a bad example. And then she herself was like, nah, I'm chilling though. So I'm very excited to hear from this next poet. Make some noise for Celeste Sanchez.
Hi everyone, my name is Celeste Sanchez and I'm coming live to you from Gage Park. So this piece is titled Money Follows Money. In the middle of my community health final, true or false? According to Dr. Bullard, in addressing environmental racism, when we start applying modern-day policy remedies without looking at the socio-historical legacy of racism created in those communities, we can further exacerbate the inequality in the quest for environmental justice. True or false? Click true. Next. But I can't go on to the next question because that statement keeps ringing in my ear. I'm wondering if there's a sociological theory that describes the student experience on the other side. Other side meaning the other. The student who the curriculum was not made for. The student who is taught social determinants of health and premature death, as if death echoes didn't already linger in my throat. I'm expected to regurgitate the answer to question 25 as if I came up with the problem. It feels like America. America asked me to create the policy remedy for equitable healthcare, and I can only look America in the face and tell her take accountability. I can only stare at her and tell her the only remedy is to get rid of this one and create a whole new healthcare system. How can you achieve equity in a nation founded on free land? Objection, stolen land. Founded on free labor. Objection, slavery. Founded on free men. Objection, free white heterosexual males with testicles. Founded on free enterprise. Objection, are you referring to the free enterprise for the free men you were referring to? I want to go up to W.E. Du Bois myself and ask him, is this something like double consciousness? To navigate an academic institution like it's an education that belongs to you. To go home and realize that same institution doesn't. You're still the student that benefited from the free school lunch program in elementary, and now you're in university and you analyze free school lunch programs under the lens of public health. You wonder if anyone else in class feels weird talking about a subject in third person like it wasn't a first person experience. America's algorithm states that money follows money power, money follows whites. What is the power when the majority is not white, when the majority builds your enterprise? When the power finds its way to the people, does the money still follow? Does the money follow power when the power is not white?
Yes, Celeste, thank you so much. So powerful, so many great questions that we need to find the answers to. Stat, great job. Everybody, y'all, make some noise for Celeste and make some noise for everybody in the virtual cipher. This has been truly, truly just a blessing, man. I mean, Saturday afternoon, you cannot find more fire, more integrity, more beauty, I think, than this space. So congratulations, and thank you all for showing up and showing out, and for really like revisiting some of these pieces, for just for the work that you all have done in a short period of time. I feel like everyone who showed out today has books in them, and our hope is we get an opportunity to hear them and read them in the future, and this is certainly the beginning of that process. So thank you so much. I think we'd be remiss if Idris and I also didn't participate in the cipher too. So it's my pleasure to bring back into the space my co-facilitator, my partner in rhyme, an award-winning poet and essayist and playwright, someone who I consider to be the August Wilson of the hip hop generation, somebody who does this work for real on the regular and has great integrity and so many bars. Please, y'all, welcome my mans. Give it up for Idris Goodwin.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate y'all. So early on, I think probably one of the first ones we looked at a poem by Penelope Alegria, and there was a line from that poem. These aren't my city lights to be falling in love with, and this is still one I've been tinkering with since throughout the weeks, and so I'm gonna just drop it here. It was I think we were exploring writing about spaces, writing about cities, places we call home, things like that. When I return to Detroit, I feel cheated. Walking past the cement galleries, all Krylon aerosol-kissed art palpable in the Motor City air, the family smiling past alleyways we were warned against. After Freebase exploded shards of disparity, pushing those with means miles north to quaint, quiet green corners. When I return to Detroit, there's some tinge of regret. I never made the drive past 8 Mile to witness the rhyming gods incubation flavor Moses Malone's hip-hop shop. Missed the front row exhibition of tomorrow's legends gathering their crowns, my scant memories breaking apart like Jay Dilla deconstructing recorded past. When I return to Detroit, it's to see my nephews, brother, and sister-in-law, the last of few blood kin who call it home, after so many others migrated back to nests in the once Jim Crowed lands of murder scene trees. Or like me, who didn't see a stage large enough for all the men and women to play, a visitor longer than I was a resident, but when I meet others from the motor town of temptations and miracles, there is instant recognition of the Great Lake flow, crushingly grounded, practicality, a willingness to assemble sturdy, a melancholy knowing romance is not strong enough to buoy back all that's sunk. But still, when I return to Detroit, I see the same life that intoxicated me on my dad's two shoulders, bundled thick in a winter coat, pointing at the floats who cast cool, dark shadows. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's that piece. Ladies and gentlemen, it is it's very, as I said at the beginning, it's great to be co-facilitating this work with my dear friend Kevin Coval, for whom, when I was still an emerging poet myself, a lot of those years that I spent with Kev going around to different elementary, middle, and high schools all across the Chicagoland area, not only just open my eyes and taught me how to teach for real, but also I learned a lot about poetry from Kev. So it's always enjoyable to share space with him, co-facilitate with him, and he's my dear friend and colleague, but someone I still learn a lot from. So it is with great pleasure that I give my final introduction of the afternoon to your friend and mine, Mr. Kevin Cole.
Yes, thank you, Idris. I appreciate you. You make me sound 1,000 years old, so I thank you for that too. I appreciate
Kevin, Kevin, when he showed me his scars from World War II, I mean, that's really what.
Yo, fam, he was there when Moses brought down the commandments.
Listen, you write timeless bars, though, my friend. You know,
hey,
what I'm
listen,
saying?
hey,
listen.
wow.
You walk with the ancestors, which means that you are infinite. Right. So, that's what I'm responding to. You also read a lot of shit. I mean, so there's that too.
No, that's true. No, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. And it has been, one of the things that I love hearing everybody. And then when Idris is facilitating, I also have the opportunity to write, and I've been learning a lot this whole trimester from some of the gems Idris has dropped. One of the things, I think there's a few things that Idris has said time and again in this session, in our sessions together, is that one, really hipped me to the understanding, and I've known this, but just to hear it rephrased and I think said in the way that he said it, that poetry really is found in the language around us all the time, and so if we do better of paying attention to what's being said around us, we'll tap into the beauty of that language, and the beauty of that language then could also help to facilitate our own experience in our pieces. And also there's, Idris has a love of language and the musicality of language, and so it's kind of brought me back really to some like day one. Like I got involved in writing because I love the words. I love the way words sounded together. And so while Idris has been facilitating, I've been trying to write these bars. I think Idris, this comes from the prompt you did last week, but it was something that I think is said often, and so it gave me the opportunity to write what I think is a broken ghazal. This is called "You Feel Me." I can't stand all the rah-rah around corny motherfuckers, you feel me? All the fronting and fake flexing, the facades and mean mugs, really? Like you can't hard rock all day, God. The club closes, you feel me? Eventually you laugh, like I've heard you, seen you at some point, silly. You have a booger and love your grandmother. You more than sexually active, more dynamic, unless you static, stuck, dude sleazy. You suck at being you, you feel me? Which is hard to do, really. We scarred and scared, we hardly there. We all wear the mask, you feel me? On some Robeson, some ghost shit, on the mic beneath the lights, easier to Barbie, you feel me? What do you sound like when no one's around? No auto-tune, alone in the room, truly. Who is the you inside of you? Show us the I guess, you feel me? The I hide inside all the bravado and gunsmoke, the truly free, the stark, your light, your sights, you are the zeitgeist, Nietzsche, you feel me? The real me, no saint, no Drew Breezy, getting busy's too easy, for real, for real. Who are we when there's no check, no MFA, when we just trying to get free, uncover the real you fear, you feel me? That's that piece. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Idris, man, it's been a good one, fam.
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. It has. It's been a real pleasure, real thrill, and yeah, want to just wish you all a just a safe and wonderful holiday season. If you're taking some time off, if you got to work through the holiday season, stay safe. And we send workplace mercies to you. But yeah, I just can't. I'm excited. I'm glad everyone gets a little break and a little refresher. But just know that when you come back, I expect just like all of that refreshment to like come through, and we're gonna keep it moving. And like Kev said, we're hoping to integrate a few special guests. We also know a ton of great, wonderful poet educators, too, facilitators, and we'd love to introduce them to you all, and just grow the circle. And also, just if you got people in your life who are poets or who wrote and haven't written in a minute, and every time you talk to them, they're like, "Oh, I need to start writing again." Really be like, "All right, the wait is over. There's no excuse really." So 2021 is all about the rebuild and the reconstruct, and we writers are gonna be key in that work. So yeah, I'm grateful and I'm excited. Gratitude and excitement. Those are my 2 words I'll leave you with.
Yes, y'all. We return January 9th. So, you got a good break, but rest up and come back ready to do the thing and just continue being yourselves, man. I mean, I think Idris and I have been really lucky to get to hear so much from you in the past few weeks and look forward to what's next. Absolutely. And I think in the next trimester, we'll also talk a little about how we revise and how we kind of think about a project. I mean, you guys have started so many, the beginnings of so many great things that it makes sense that to begin to think about then what does a body of work look like and feel like, and we'll begin to explore all these things. So just great job, congratulations, and shout out to Scott and Anna, Young Chicago Authors, and everybody helping us get right today. Thanks for tuning in, and of course thank you all for doing the work and being here. Yeah, have a good holiday season, and we will talk soon. All right, peace.